You think you are ready for the cross, but Season 6 will test you in ways you did not expect. It will take the story you love and strip it down to pain, choice, and love that costs everything. You will hear the crowd, feel the fear in the air, and watch friends fall apart under the weight of a single day. If you stay, you will break. But you will also understand why this ending had to happen. Season 6 stands at the edge of the storm, and every moment points to one place. The city is full and loud, yet every street feels tense. Leaders whisper, soldiers watch, mothers clutch children and move faster than normal. The joy that once followed Jesus, now walks beside worry, has changed. The cheers are thinner. The questions are sharper. The air feels heavy, like a room where no one wants to speak first. This season will not rush. It will sit with the long night and the long walk. It will show how pressure breaks truth loose from comfort. It will let us see Jesus as a man who knows what is coming and still keeps walking toward it. The disciples as men who burn with faith 1 hour and shake with doubt the next. Their faces will tell the story before their words do. One lies to himself to feel brave. One argues to cover his fear. One stares at the ground because his plan is already set. Even the streets show the change. Lamps feel dim. Voices echo in narrow halls. Doors close a little too fast. In this world, small choices matter. A step left or right changes a life. A word spoken or swallowed becomes a line you cannot uncross. Season 6 uses that truth to tighten the rope around the heart. 2 promises made by Jesus when the days were bright and pull those words into the dark. Love your enemies meets a whip. Turn the other cheek meets a soldier's fist. Blessed are the meek meets a judge who does not care. Yet the season will not turn away from hope. It will not paint the cross as defeat. It will show how loss can be a seed. It will show how silence can carry meaning when words fail. You will watch faith shrink under fear and then rise again. You will watch a teacher become an offering by choice, not by force. This is the design of the season. It aims to break your defenses so that the message can reach a softer place. It wants you to feel the cost before you hear about the gift. It wants you to meet the last day not as a viewer, but as a witness. By the end of this section, you will know why everything else in the story bends toward this hour. The path is narrow now. There is no side road. Every friend, every enemy, every stranger is moving toward the same hill. Season 6 will take you there step by step, breath by breath, until standing still feels possible and moving forward is the only honest thing left to do. The heart of Season 6 beats in the shadow of the cross. This is not just another scene, not just another chapter in a long story. It is the center where everything collides. Imagine a night where silence feels louder than a scream. Soldiers march through dark streets, their armor clashing like thunder against stone. Doors stay shut, windows stay dark, and even the wind seems to hold its breath. Jesus knows where these steps will lead, yet he does not run, he does not hide. He walks into the storm because love leaves him no other path. The trial is not about justice. It is about fear, pride, and power. Leaders twist words until truth is no longer truth. A crowd that once shouted his name now shouts for his end. The voices blend into one wall of sound, harsh and unrelenting. Even in this chaos, Jesus stands still. His silence cuts deeper than arguments. His eyes carry weight that no chains can hold. This is where the season becomes something more than a show. It invites you to feel the sharpness of betrayal, the sting of denial, and the chill of abandonment. Each moment is not rushed, because each wound matters. The crucifixion itself will not be a scene you can simply watch. It will force you to sit. With the cost of love, nails do not only pierce hands, they pierce hearts. The cross does not only rise on a hill, it rises inside everyone who dares to care. Season 6 will make you feel that cost. It will not hide the pain in shadows. It will not smooth the rough wood. It will not soften the cries. It will show Jesus broken in body but unbroken in purpose. His suffering will not be filmed as a tragedy, but as a choice. The weight of the world presses down, yet he carries it with a quiet strength that no force can crush. This is why the last day will break you. It will strip away the safe distance between viewer and story. It will leave you no escape from the question, why would someone walk into this pain on purpose? The answer is not spoken in long speeches. It is written in each drop of blood, each breath drawn with effort, each look of compassion given to those who did not deserve it. Season 6 dares to bring you so close that the cross feels not like a relic of the past, but like a choice unfolding before your eyes. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You cannot step back unchanged. Season 6 does not only belong to Jesus, it belongs to the men and women who followed him. The ones who swore loyalty in daylight and stumbled when the night grew too heavy. Their journey will not be painted in smooth strokes. It will be jagged, raw, and painfully human. You will see men who once believed they could face the world fall apart under the weight of fear. You will see promises break like fragile glass. You will see eyes filled with courage in one moment and filled with shame in the next. Judas carries the heaviest shadow. His choice is not sudden. It has been building like cracks in a wall.
Ow.
His steps toward betrayal are quiet but deliberate. Every word he speaks feels touched by hesitation, as if he knows the trap he is setting but cannot stop his own hands from tying the rope. Watching him will not feel like watching a villain. It will feel like watching a man drown in his own thoughts. Struggling, reaching, but still sinking. That is the power of this season. It makes you sit with the weight of decisions, the kind you cannot take back once made. Peter too stands at the center of this storm. He is the bold one, the fighter, the one who always speaks first and acts faster than thought. But boldness can shatter when fear hits. In the cold light of fire, surrounded by strangers' questions, Peter's voice cracks, his heart pounds, and suddenly courage slips from his grip.
Delays.
3 times he denies the man he swore to defend. Times he feels the weight of failure close around him. This fall is not hidden. Camera will not flinch. It will stay on his face, on his eyes, on the moment he realizes what he has done. The rest of the disciples scatter like sparks from a dying flame. Some run, some hide. Some weep quietly where no one can see. Each of them carries guilt. That is the truth of their journey. It is not only about faith tested, but about faith broken. Yet in that breaking lies the seed of something new. When they are crushed by their own weakness, they will remember his words. Of pride, they will discover what strength really means. This season will not let you judge them from a safe distance. It will hold up a mirror. Their fear will echo your fear. Their denial will echo your silence. Their despair will echo the times you too wondered if hope was gone. And in that reflection, the story becomes more than history. It becomes personal. It becomes a journey you are walking with them, step by step, fall by fall, until the cross is not only his, but yours too. The power of Season 6 is not only in what you see, but in what it makes you feel. Every frame carries weight, every silence stretches longer than words, and every shadow on the wall seems alive with meaning. The crucifixion is not just a moment of death. It is the unraveling of everything the disciples thought they knew. Their hope is torn apart, their hearts are crushed, and their voices fall silent. This is why the season promises not just to move you, but to break you. It wants you to step into the chaos and feel the loss as if it were your own. The cross itself becomes more than wood and nails. It is a symbol written into the fabric of the story, which is the place where love and pain meet without compromise. The last day forces every character and every viewer to ask the same question: what does it mean to give everything away? You will see the soldiers treat it as routine. You will see leaders view it as victory. You will see friends view it as disaster. But the story whispers another meaning. The last day is not an ending, but a doorway, just the breaking of one world so that another can begin. Every tear that falls in Season 6 carries a message. The weeping of Mary is not only grief, it is a mother's cry that speaks for every loss in the world. The silence of John is not only fear, it is the weight of watching love laid bare in pain. Even the mocking of the crowd becomes part of the symbol, showing how blind hatred can turn against light itself. And in that blindness, the story places a mirror. You are asked to see yourself, not only in the faithful, but in the ones who turned away, in the ones who mocked, in the ones who doubted. That is why it breaks you, because it refuses to let you hide. The symbolism of the last day will strike hardest. It will be shown not only as the end of Jesus' earthly journey, but as the breaking point of human pride, fear, and selfishness. The last day strips away all illusions of control. It shows that strength without love collapses. It shows that kingdoms built on fear crumble. It shows that death itself can be turned into a gift. In breaking the heart, the story opens it. Showing despair, it sows the seed of hope. The first look at Season 6 is not just a preview. It feels like a warning. Each frame is sharpened to strike the heart, each glimpse chosen to whisper that what is coming will change everything. You see shadows before you see faces. You hear footsteps before you hear voices. The light is softer now, not golden like Galilee, but pale and uncertain, as if the world itself senses the weight of what is near. This is not a season of comfort. It is a season where even the air feels heavy. With sorrow, one of the first images that lingers is the table of the Last Supper. The camera does not rush. It does not need to. The bread in his hand looks simple, but the silence around it feels louder than any crowd. Each disciple's eyes dart with unspoken questions, with fear they do not name. Judas shifts, restless. Torn between staying and leaving, Peter leans forward, eager but unaware of how close his denial waits. John sits still, his gaze steady, as if already preparing for the pain of staying near when others will run. That table is not just a meal. It is a battlefield of hearts. And the preview lets you taste that tension before the words are even spoken. The garden comes next. Bathed in moonlight that feels more like a cold spotlight than a comfort. The sound of leaves rustling mixes with whispers of prayer. Jesus kneels, his hands pressed to the earth as if he is holding the world in place. You can almost hear his heartbeat in the silence. The soldier's arrival cuts through the stillness like thunder, the clash of metal and boots breaking the fragile peace. This is where betrayal becomes real, where a kiss burns hotter than fire. The first look does not soften the moment. Shows Judas step forward, his eyes clouded, his face strained. When his lips touch the cheek of his teacher, it is not only Jesus who is betrayed. It is hope itself. Then comes the trial. The faces of leaders glow in torchlight, hard and unyielding. The crowd sways, restless, their voices shifting from curiosity to rage. The camera lingers on Pilate's hands, washing as if water could erase. The weight of choice? And through it all, Jesus does not beg, does not argue. His silence becomes louder than every shout, his calm a blade cutting through the madness. The first look ends with the shadow of the cross, not the full image, not yet, but just enough to burn into memory. The sound of wood dragged against stone. The cries of a crowd that does not understand, and the distant outline of a hill where everything will change. The teaser does not give relief. It does not promise escape. It only leaves you with the certainty that this story is moving toward a single place, and that place is closer than you think. As Season 6 marches toward its end, the story becomes heavier with every breath. There is no turning back now. Each step toward the hill feels like the beat of a drum, steady and unrelenting. The disciples are scattered, hope seems lost, and the world grows darker, not only in sky but in spirit. The roads that once carried, miracles now echo with chains. Voices that once cheered now spit venom. This is not a slow decline. It is a collapse, sudden and crushing. Like a tower falling in silence before the crash. The finale will not allow the viewer to sit comfortably. It will press you close to the wood of the cross, close to the faces of those who cannot look away. Mary's eyes will hold a pain deeper than words. John will stand steady, but his silence will ache louder than any speech. The Roman soldiers, hardened by countless executions, will still flinch at the way this man endures without rage, without curse, with only love in his final breaths. The sky will darken, the earth will tremble, and you will feel that this is not only death, it is creation tearing itself open. This is where the breaking comes. Not just of Jesus' body, but of every defense in your own heart. The finale is designed to leave you emptied. It wants you to feel the despair of the disciples who believed it was all over. It wants you to stand in the shadow of the cross and ask the question they asked. How could this be the end of the story? And in that silence, in that emptiness, lies the truth. The last day breaks you so that you can see beyond yourself. It strips away certainty, pride, and comfort until all that is left is raw, trembling humanity in need of hope. The brilliance of this season is how it dares to leave you here on the edge of ruin, staring into the hollow of loss. It does not rush to comfort. It does not rush to explain. It lets the silence linger. It lets the darkness sit heavy, because only in that breaking, only in that moment where everything feels gone, can the seed of what comes next take root. The finale is not about ending. It is about waiting in the dark for a light you cannot yet see. And when it comes, it will not feel like a twist. It will feel like the answer to a question you did not know your soul had been asking all along. The journey ends where it had to, at the foot of the cross. The story has stripped away the joy of miracles, the warmth of laughter, and even the strength of loyalty. What remains is silence, broken only by the sound of a dying man who chooses to love until his final breath. Season 6 does not offer comfort in its last moments. It offers a mirror. It asks you to look at the price of love, the weight of sacrifice, and the cost of standing for truth when the world turns against it. This is why the last day will break you. Not because of blood or nails, not because of soldiers or crowds, but because it shows love at its rawest love that does not retreat. Love that does not save itself. Love that gives everything away without asking for anything in return. That is the breaking point. It forces you to face the question. If love is willing to go this far, how far are you willing to follow it? The closing frames will not shout. It will whisper, a bowed head, a darkened sky, a mother holding her grief, like fire in her chest. A disciple staring at the cross, broken and uncertain. The silence stretches, and you realize it is not empty. It is full of meaning, full of promise, full of something greater that waits just beyond the pain. The story does not end at the cross. It only passes through it. But for now, it leaves you here, sitting in the weight of loss, because only through breaking can the heart be ready for what is to come. And that is the genius of Season 6. It does not just tell you a story, it makes you live it. It makes you feel the fear, the despair, the betrayal, and finally the breaking. And when the credits roll, you will not only remember what you saw, you will carry it. The last day will break you, but it will also plant something inside you that cannot be undone. The cross does not end the story, it rewrites it. And Season 6 brings you to the edge of that truth, leaving you trembling, waiting for the dawn that is still to come.